Good evening. I'd like to call the May 16, 2023 meeting of Sarpy County Planning Commission to order at 7 p.m. This is my first time doing this, so I would like to ask for some indulgence and patience with me as I work my way through this tonight. With that being said, I'd ask you now to rise and please state the Pledge of Allegiance with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly, can you do roll call, please?
Giff,
Here.
Ackley,
Here.
Dembinski, Weiss,
Here.
Cheney, Bernack,
Here.
Preston,
Here.
Igardner, Huddleston,
Here.
Korth, Whitfield.
Here.
7 present, 4 absent. That's Dembinski, Cheney, Igardner, and Korth. We have a quorum.
This is a public meeting subject to the Nebraska Opens Meeting Act. A current copy of the law is located on the north wall of the county boardroom. An introduction of the planning staff and legal counsel. We have Jason Kubicek, planner, Don Simon, planning director, Kelly Jeck, planning coordinator, Kayla Hathcote, and Jose Garcia as application support specialist. I will now accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the April 18th, 2023 meeting.
So moved. Second, Preston.
Please vote. Okay. Motion carried.
We will now proceed to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Each agenda item will adhere to the following format as detailed in the Sarpy County Planning Commission bylaws. The agenda item will be first introduced and briefly explained by the planning staff. The applicant or applicant's representative will be given 5 minutes to address the commission and present information for their project. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation to the public hearing will be opened and the public will be allowed to participate. The public is asked to keep comments relevant to the agenda item and, in the interest of time, not be redundant to what others have previously said. Once all parties that wish to speak have done so, the public comment portion of the agenda item will be closed. At this time, the applicant or applicant's representative will be given an opportunity for rebuttal if necessary. After the applicant's rebuttal, the public hearing will be closed and members of the Planning Commission will begin discussion of the agenda item. The commissioners may question anyone as part of this discussion without the requirement of rebuttal from others. There shall be no time limit on this discussion. First item on the agenda tonight, the rezoning from AG, Agricultural Farming District, to RE2, Residential Estates, to District, AGR, Agricultural Residential District, and AGD, Agricultural Development District, and a preliminary plat and final plat of a subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Krejci Hoppy Acres Replat 1, being a replat of Lot 1, Krejci, Hoppy Acres, Sarpy County, Nebraska, generally located northeast of 240th Street and Lincoln Road. The applicant is Donald and Joyce Krejci.
Good evening, Commissioners. Notice of the public hearing for this application was published in area newspapers, and the subject property was posted with a sign indicating a zoning action was pending. Letters were mailed to property owners within 300 feet of this property to notify them of the proposed zoning action, and the proposal documents were sent to area jurisdictional agencies. The applicant, here, I'm going to switch to this. Just going to make a quick point on this exhibit. If you were looking at this, that there was a road dedication on the north on this one exhibit, and we removed the requirement to have that road being dedicated. So just wanted to make that note on this rezoning exhibit. But to continue, the applicant and property owner, Donald R. and Joyce A. Krotzel, are requesting the approval of a rezoning from the agricultural farming district to the residential estates 2, agricultural residential, and agricultural development, with a preliminary and final plat for a subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and outlot A, Krotzel Hoppy Acres, replat 1. The subject property is approximately over 34 acres and is generally located northeast of 240th and Lincoln Road. The site has one single-family home with wooded prairie and steep terrain surrounding a private cemetery which is accessed by easement. Just going to switch again here. This is the preliminary plat. The existing zoning is agricultural farming district, and the existing future land use is residential estates. The zoning and land use in the general vicinity matches the proposed zoning changes, which is a mix of residential estates and tillable farm ground. The Gretna ETJ is directly east of this proposed area. The applicant is proposing 5 lots for single-family residences and 1 outlot to be set aside as an environmentally sensitive area. The existing single-family residence will be within lot 1. So just want to point out here, there'll be 2 access points. The existing driveway for the existing single-family home, which is connected to the driveway here. And then the second one is existing already. It will need to go through and be approved by Public Works for residential purposes, but that will access lots 2 through 5. Construction and maintenance of the proposed roads within the development will be the full responsibility of the developer and/or owners. All lots will be served by private individual septic systems. A proposed community well will serve lots 2 through 5, and an existing well will serve lot 1, which meets the Sarpy County Comprehensive Plan requirements. Prior to the final plat being advertised for the county board agenda, the applicant shall provide a signed subdivision agreement with Sarpy County. All easements and related documents will be appended to this agreement and shall be filed concurrently with the final plat following county board approval. Proposed outlot A, which is to the south here and surrounding lot 1. Let me zoom out a little bit. So it's kind of this area and just surrounding out lot 1 there. This is set aside for conservation and will be restricted to not allow construction of any new structures. An existing condition site plan will be added to the deed restriction that shows the driveway and a small outbuilding in the southwest corner of the subdivision, and any other existing structures that may be relevant. The applicant shall submit a post-construction stormwater plan, management plan as a part of the subdivision agreement as well. And here's the final plat exhibit. Staff recommends approval of the change of zone from agricultural farming to RE2, residential estates 2, AGR, agricultural residential, and AGD, agricultural development, for a proposed subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Kratzel Hoppy Acres, Replat 1, subject to the comments found in this staff report and attachments. Staff is also recommending approval of the preliminary and final plats of a subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Kratzel Hoppy Acres, Replat 1. Staff makes these recommendations as the proposals are consistent with the Sarpy County Comprehensive Plan and complies with the requirements of the Sarpy County zoning and subdivision regulations. If you have any questions, please let me know.
At this time, we will open the public hearing. Do we have any parties that would like to address the board? We will start with proponents of this request. Are there any? Yes?
Come up.
Yes.
So,
Just state your name here.
Please state your name and address.
Randy Dalbendick, and I live 23606 Prairie Ridge Road. So I'm right behind off to the east. So my question they didn't address or say anything about is the cemetery there. That's St. Pat's. Is that going to remain there? Is that going to be moved, or do they have easement rights going into that property from the driveway?
Yeah, I can answer that. The St. Pat's will not change. Everything around it is changing, but nothing within it and will change. But there is an existing easement to the cemetery.
So the waterway and all that stuff is going to remain the same?
Yeah, it will. In fact, it'll remain untouched. You know, that's there's an outlot around in that area surrounding the cemetery, so that will actually not be able to be built on any further or anything like that. So it will be protected in that area. But there is an existing easement with the property. Public Works did recommend to correct the easement or change the easement to kind of follow the driveway that's existing there, but it's the property owner's choice.
Are there any regulations for like this septic tanks and stuff that have to be so far away from the cemetery? Well placement?
I don't have any information on vicinity of a cemetery or anything like that, but they will go through a review process for siting. We did ask on the preliminary plat for the septic system to be located and shown, and it's a good distance away from the cemetery. I don't think there's going to be any issues with that septic or the well that's existing.
So the Lot A, or Outlot A is going to remain kind of a prairie type?
Yeah, it'll probably be mostly the same condition. The property owner has the ability to plant other vegetation if necessary, or maintain the current condition. If a tree falls or something like that, they can sure clean that up. That's not an issue. But any new structures, other than the driveway that's there, it does cross over into that outlot. But that and there's a small shed down in the south west corner of the lot of Outlot A, and that would just need to be identified in an exhibit, and then that's can stay. And if there's any other structures, then that could stay. But no new structures is my point. Yeah.
Okay, because there's a lot of wildlife that's down there.
Okay.
We got deer in there constantly.
Yeah.
So, Sarpy County going to do anything with the road? They're going to continue with the blacktop around the corner for another, that's probably about a half mile. Is there a lot of dust and dirt, and there's going to be more coming up, and you have 4 or 5 more lots?
Public Works did review. It wasn't determined or commented on that any dust control was needed for that at this point in time. And the additional lots, they didn't determine that that was going to need extra dust control. So we did not get that feedback from them. But I will say that the proper amount of dedicated right-of-way is already in place along 240th Street if there's any improvements or maintenance needed.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Please come up to the podium.
I just have a quick question. My name is Shan Lawton, and I live on one of the corners on Sandsart Drive.
Could you give us your proper address?
902 Sandsart Drive.
Okay.
And my question is just, is that plat that you were referring to available to the public?
Yes, it's not an official plat. We're going through kind of this review process. So it is on the website, on the agenda. And I can sure print you off a copy too. I'd be happy to do that. But yeah, that's publicly available at this point, but it is, like I said, draft. It's subject to any corrections or anything that's made here tonight or that sort of thing. But the final plat, once, if it does get to the point of approval by county board, then that'll get filed with Register of Deeds. And that's when it becomes fully final and registered with the Register of Deeds there. But,
Thank you.
yep.
Is there anybody else who would wish to speak? If there is no further discussion at this time, we will close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question regarding the deletion of the right-of-way on the north edge. Seeing as we had a nice discussion about it down at 52nd and Platteview, basically to the south, or maybe not 52nd, 66, somewhere down there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Why the deletion here?
Right.
What was the, because it is a section line, should have right-of-way.
It's a section line. The reason it was included at first and is shown on that portion, on that one exhibit, we were going to use that to access Lot 1, but then they resituated how they did Outlot A and Lot 1 and brought that driveway all the way down to 240th. So that meets the requirement of having a lot abutting right-of-way. And furthermore, we did have this, that dedicated right-of-way on the plat as we had them reviewed by local agencies. And so Public Works gave the feedback that that was not going to be a road that was needed. It will, in the foreseeable future, will not come through. It's Cornhusker Road is what it would connect to. And that would be going to if you start from 240th Street, going up to the east, that's about 100-foot climb over that lot to one point. And then furthermore, there's to the east there's quite a few established large acre lots. So just, the sewer, that sort of thing isn't going to come out this way at this point in time. So that was the feedback we got from Public Works. And since we didn't really need it for public right-of-way, for abutting the public right-of-way, then we deemed it unnecessary at this point. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
I want to make a comment on it. And it's more of a legal question, but being as it is a section line and state statute reserves that 33 feet on either side of the section line for right-of-way, does there have to be any kind of a formal vacation of that 33 feet for it to be vacated, or does this platting automatically take care of that?
Is this on? There doesn't need to be a formal vacation at this point. That's certainly something we can look at with the developer if we want to, but by statute, we do have right of way along all those section lines anyway, so in the future, if we needed to go in and build a road, we could, but based on Public Works comments, I don't think that's necessary at this point.
So what you're saying is that they still could claim it as right-of-way in the future.
Right, the county would still have a right to
possible
it.
use
And
is
so
still
that a
there.
vacation may be something that we would want to look at, which would have to go through the statutory process to do. We've done that for developments in the past that go through section lines.
Just procedural, is that, I don't see
Pretty
any
much,
reason why it would
yeah.
ever go in, but it was just more a question of procedure.
Yeah, just by platting it itself, that doesn't vacate our right to the section line.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion from commissioners here? If there is no further discussion, I will ask for a motion on the rezoning RZ 23-004.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve of the rezoning of the change of zone from AG Agricultural to RE2 Residential Estates 2, AGR Agricultural Residential, and AGD Agricultural Development for the proposed subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Crackle Hoppy Acres Replat 1, subject to the comments found in the staff report and the attachments. The lots will be zoned as follows. Lots 2 through 5 proposed to be rezoned as Residential Estates 2. Lot 1 should be rezoned to AGR, minimum 5 acres, and Outlot A proposed to be rezoned to AGD. I make this recommendation as the proposal is consistent with the Sarpy County Comprehensive Plan and complies with the requirements of the Sarpy County zoning regulations.
I'll second.
Please vote. Ayes 7, nays none, absent Cheney, Dembinski, Igardner, Korth. Motion carried.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a recommendation to approve the preliminary plat of the subdivision be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Crackle Hoppy Acres Replat 1, as the proposal does meet the requirements of the Sarpy County Comprehensive Plan, zoning, and subdivision regulations.
I'll second that.
Please vote. Ayes 7, nays none, absent Cheney, Dembinski, Igardner, Korth. Motion carries.
And Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve of the final plat of a subdivision to be known as lots 1 through 5 and Outlot A, Crackle Hoppy Acres Replat 1, as the proposal meets the requirements of the Sarpy County Comprehensive Plan, zoning, and subdivision regulations.
I'll second that.
Please vote. Ayes 7, nays none, absent Cheney, Dembinski, Igardner, Korth. Motion carried.
This concludes the public portion of our hearing tonight. Are there any commissioners' reports? Does the planning department have any reports?
Yeah, I get some quick comments here. The early, for this Kratzel Hoppy Acres Replat 1, earliest we could get to county board is June 6th, but we're probably getting through the subdivision agreements, the agreement and the easement documents, different exhibits. It'll probably go a little bit later than that, just depending on that. The Buffalo Ridge Estates was approved by county board. At this point, we don't have any applications for the June Planning Commission. So it looks at this point like we'll probably not have a meeting in June. And which will line up pretty good with the College World Series and all that stuff. So, but July, we'll have something in July. So,
Okay.
and that's it.
If there are no other reports, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.